It's really quite an honor, and I have to say thank you to the Hawaiian youth who've been inspiring us. And when I asked Makana to write an article or essay about her experience with the Youth Summit, I was just so incredibly touched because she is a brilliant writer, but we didn't know that. And so that's what's happening, is there's this incredible discovery process that's ongoing, and each of these young people has these special gifts, but you're going to get to see a lot of them.
I was so impressed with the delegation that went to Martha's Vineyards. And I should say all of you, the parents and everyone, should be very proud of the young people that went to Martha's Vineyards and represented you to the highest. And I say to the highest level. That people were amazed and they were going like, wow, they have it together. And amongst our communities, there's a lot of young people that have it together. They just haven't had the opportunity yet. But my grandmother named me Nane, she named a lot of us. Nane in our language means walk in peace. So my grandmother already had a plan for me. You know, I just didn't know about it. And as we, you know, moved through life and stuff, it just, I was able to hear the words of one of our greatest leaders in California and throughout the country. His name was Cesar Chavez. Cesar Chavez was a farm worker, became the leader of the United Farm Workers, and he always talked about justice for farm workers. And as a 17-year-old, I heard those words, but I also got lost in the madness. And then when I came back from Vietnam, I started to really look at what my grandmother was telling me, and to really look at the cultural and the spiritual part of me. And that gave me a sense of who I was. Today, I just wanted to touch briefly on one of my mentors, and his name is Harry Belafonte. Because when I'm walking or I'm listening to him, and he talks about Martin Luther King, it's like front row seat, you know, and you hear all these stories that are never published. And if you read this book, because it's got some incredible, and how he's related to these islands here. And so, you know, when we talk, what was one of the things that Martin Luther King told you that as we were, because, you know, towards the end, Martin Luther King was talking about, you know, the war's not right, and we have to stop this, and certain things that he was talking about that originally he didn't speak about. And he says, you know, we are about to assimilate into the American culture. And they had offered Martin Luther King and many civil rights, many things to accept assimilation. And although some things did happen, he says, well, what do you think? And Martin Luther King says, I wrote it down to make sure. It says, Harry, I'm afraid that we're assimilated into a burning house. And Harry says, he called me off guard. What do you mean then? If we're assimilated into a burning house, what are we to do? He says, well, I think we should all become firemen. And he said, well, it's so simple like that. And reminds me of Gandhi, and how simple Gandhi was in his answers to people, or the Dalai Lama. I've also had the honor to be on panels with the Dalai Lama and speak to him about peace and how do we move forward, you know, in this. And he always tells me, keep it simple. I said, okay, keep it simple. So how does that all translate to the young people of today? The Trevors, the Makanas, the Hanas, all the young people. Is that we have to trust, and that's my card today said, trust. And so I trust that they will continue the work that many of you here have done in this island and that we've done throughout the world. That the young people, as we give them the tools, and as Belafonte says, you pass the baton. We pass the baton to them so that they will definitely hold the baton. Because one of the things Harry Belafonte talks about is that during the civil rights, when we passed the baton fell. Because there was not an infrastructure. There was not this building. There was not this school to be able to pass the tools. And so a lot of young people dropped the baton. Or let's say, a lot of the older elders that were passing on the baton. And so that tells me that the cultural and spiritual part of our work has to be at the forefront. In the spirit of all our teachers, mentors, I want to say thank you for allowing me to speak here today and to be here. I'd like to share more of our work with you, whatever we can do to support. And I trust that the young people will lead us into a better, healthier community. So, all my relations.